Dear friends, there is a beautiful story that tells of how Jesus, after his ascension into heaven, was surrounded by the holy angels. They began to inquire about his work on earth. Jesus told them about his life and how he had accomplished the salvation of this world through his death and resurrection. Out of curiosity, the archangel Gabriel asked Jesus, "Well, now that you are back in heaven, who will continue your work on earth?" Jesus said, "While I was on earth, I gathered a group of people, and they believed in me and they loved me. They will continue to spread the gospel." Gabriel was rather perplexed and said, "You mean Peter, who denied you 3 times, and the rest of the apostles who ran away when you were crucified? And what will you do if this plan doesn't work? Don't you have a plan B?" And Jesus replied, "I have no plan B. I am counting on them, and it must work." Yes, dear friends, Jesus was right. Truly, Jesus has no other plans than to depend on the efforts of his followers, like each one of us. Now, one might ask, and rightly so, if Jesus is no longer visible, how will people come to know of his presence? The answer is that he wants to make himself known through his disciples, who are going to be the witnesses of the risen Lord. On this feast of the Ascension, we are reminded that it is not the task of Christians to stand looking up to the sky, either to mourn Jesus' departure from this world or to simply await his second coming. Therefore, we should not be preoccupied with identifying the signs of Christ's return. As Christians, our role is to bear witness to the risen Lord by our life, and that too in this world for others until his second coming. And always remember, Jesus is counting on each one of us. In this context, Pope Paul VI famously said that the world needs witnesses more than it needs teachers. It is relatively easy to be a teacher. It is much harder to be a witness. In fact, the world is full of false and true teachers, but it has very few witnesses for the Lord. Between these two roles, there is the same difference as that between saying and doing things, because actions speak louder than words. The witness is one who speaks about his or her life. A believing father and mother must be the first witnesses of faith for their children. Let us take an example. As you know, at this time of the year, during the Easter season, many of our children receive their first communion, and young people are being confirmed, just as we did a few weeks ago. A believing mother or father can help their child to renew their faith, to review the catechism, to explain the scriptures, and to help their son or daughter to learn the prayers and bring them to church on a regular basis. Such parents are doing a beautiful job of witnessing the risen Lord in this world, and we need more of such people. Dear friends, the Ascension was not a farewell ceremony for Jesus, but the beginning of a new mission, a new way of life for his disciples. We too can be part of that mission. The feast of the Ascension of the Lord reminds us that when the historical presence or the physical presence of Jesus ended, we are now living the time of the Spirit, a time of creativity and of responsible growth for the church. The Lord has gone to heaven, but without leaving this world. He has only disappeared from the field of our vision. That is why in today's gospel, the Lord assures each one of us, "Behold, I am with you always, even to the end of the time or the world." In this way, Jesus' presence empowers us to face the challenges of our faith life, and is very reassuring to know that Jesus has not abandoned us by ascending to his Father, but he remains with us always and forever.